Hey there. So, I wanted to talk today about how art therapy supports executive function development. And there are 11 executive function skills that we're constantly pulling on to be able to get things done and kind of navigate our world. But I want to focus on three that I really see come up, especially when we're in the beginning phases of art therapy. The first one is response inhibition, and that's our ability to slow down and make a choice before moving on. And you can imagine if you've ever made art with kids um, or with adults, is that there's a tendency to like jump right in, and that has one effect, right? But when you get interested in kind of making something, when you're not just exploring it from a sensory level, but when you really want to start to move into that phase of like, I now want to create something, which is an impulse all of us have, there's a little bit of presence and mindfulness that has to come into that. And so that's one place where the people I work with really get to explore is like that push pull between wanting to jump right in and just touch and play, which serves its purpose, and then slowing it down just a little bit so that we can then um, kind of move towards a goal. That's when I know those executive functions are coming into play, is that when there's a goal that seems to be emerging through the play and through the art making. The second executive function skill that I want to touch on is emotional control. And that's like the my bread and butter as an art therapist. That's why people come to art therapy, is because somehow their emotions are kind of running the show, and that's not no longer sustainable or comfortable. And so that's one way that art can really support, and art therapy can really support people in achieving their goals of having a life that feels more manageable. Art gives you immediate feedback. The materials, they are messy. They're not easily controlled. Especially most people come to me, they're not like fine artists. They're just ordinary people playing with art materials. And so in that process of getting that immediate feedback of like, I did this and it didn't go the way I wanted it to, and the emotions start to come up. And that's where, as the therapy part comes in, of me helping to offer some regulation skills throughout that process. And so you get to keep engaging with something that feels a little bit out of your control, but it's just a piece of paper. Like, we can just throw it away. We can stop anytime we want. It's not a big, scary conversation. It's a small experiment. And in that experiment, we get to try and test out what it feels like to be a little bit dysregulated, a little bit overwhelmed, maybe a lot overwhelmed. And you get to do that within the container of this like beautiful therapeutic relationship that says like, it's okay. Like, you've got this, and I'm going to move through this with you. Maybe I'm going to give you some strategies. Maybe I'm just going to continue to find calm in my own body. I'm going to keep breathing. The last skill that I want to talk about is flexibility. And this is really exciting when I start to see the people I work with, when I see them start to experiment with flexibility. So a lot of times the first impulse, especially if you are struggling with executive function or with overwhelm or with feelings that feel out of control, is that there's one right way to do something, or there's one way that this has to be for me to be okay. Whew. That's a lot to carry, right? When I start to see someone play around with how they can shift, they can pivot, when something's not quite going the way they want it to, when they can say like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted, but I'm going to do this instead. Like, it's like the skies open up and the angels start singing in my little art therapy heart. I get so excited when I see that, because I know that we've turned a corner where that person I'm working with is starting to really internalize the feeling that they're okay, and that it's okay that something is presenting them with a challenge, and that they can just like take that on. They could just slow down, make a different choice, and move forward. So, like I said, there are 11 executive function skills, and we are working with all of those when we're using art materials. But these are three that I really see as pivotal in the work that I do with people. So I would love to connect with you. Like I said, I'm an art therapist. I work with families in New Jersey and telehealth in person. And I would love to make some art with you. Check out my website, jenniferlawrencearttherapy.com, for lots of ideas on how I can help you strengthen your executive function skills and help you work on what feels hard right now. I am looking forward to connecting with you. Take care.